Hello and welcome to Aktualise Theatre's Cyber Scratch. I'm Elise.
And I'm Alex, and we're your hosts for tonight's show. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're so excited to share an evening of incredible new work with you.
The last few months have been a struggle for the arts, but we wanted to create the opportunity for artists to get their work seen and for you at home to see new work.
So, here we are. Grab a glass of vino and pop your feet up.
You're in for a treat.
Firstly, we want to give a massive thank you to Poplar Union for hosting us and to help us realise this project in its digital format. They do fantastic work, so be sure to check them out online and maybe even in person when things return back to normal.
Secondly, a massive thank you to all the artists involved for going on this adventure into the unknown with us in this online format. Tonight's performance is completely free and out of love, so please enjoy. But if you can donate, we would appreciate it more than anything.
Any and all money raised will go straight to the artists involved, and you can find the link below in the description. We recommend a £5 donation, but if you want to give more, we absolutely won't object.
The first two pieces we have for you tonight are Did Somebody Say Just Cheat, where white lies catch up on you, and You Are My Sunshine, a message from father to son. Enjoy.
I think it was just one of those things that I never thought would come to light. It started off harmless. A white lie. A sourdough pizza here, a little lamp sander there. Honestly, I never thought it would end up like this. Well, who could predict what would happen? But, it's starting to get stressful. The first couple of weeks, it was fine. I ordered the takeaways as normal. I did try cooking one night, but it didn't go very well. And with him working from home and me being on furlough, it's 2020 and I'm feeling like a 1950s housewife. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. Can the man not pick up a pan? I can't keep up the lie when he's here every bloody second of the day. Obviously, I've had to get sneaky and stealthy, which really isn't in my nature. But I've got a new system. At 5:15, I head to the app and I make my orders. Josh does his workout and he's in the shower for 5:45.
I've just finished my workout and I'm going in the shower.
The delivery guy is in on it now, so we do the exchange efficiently. I carefully plate up the takeaways and sneakily pop the boxes in the bin. I put the meals in the oven on low. That way, when Josh comes down, he sees his radiant wife presenting his homemade, with love, evening meal. I don't know why I told him I could cook all those years ago. I guess I just wanted to impress him. And he's always raving to his friends about how I'm the greatest cook and how lucky he is to have me. Tonight, he's asked for coq au vin. Who does he think I am? Gordon bloody Ramsay? I laughed at first. I thought he was feeling kinky and was in the mood. But I feel like I'm in too deep now. There's no going back. Oh God, it's time.
You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are grey. Happy birthday, sunshine. I cannot believe my little lad is 21. I hope you're having a fantastic day. And by the way, I have someone with me here, but you'll never guess who it is. I know everyone says you'll never guess, but you really will never guess. So, aye, it's your 21st. And of course he's not there, is he? Your dad. which is why I've recorded this. I haven't been a great dad, have I? And when I say I haven't been great, I mean bad. And when I say bad, I mean terrible. Feel free to contradict me at any time. But it's the truth. I missed all them years when you were growing up. Years when I should have been there. But if ever there was a time to talk after all this time, then this is the time. Your 21st. And now I'm talking, the daft thing is that I don't know what to say. What to say? I wish I'd been a good father. Or a good husband, come to that. I left your mother, I left you, and now here I am trying to make up for it with words. How can a man do that? By saying sorry. I'm sorry you never had a holiday where you could play with your dad. I'm sorry you never walked out of school to see your dad standing there waiting to pick you up to take you home. And most of all, I'm sorry I was never there to shield you from the hurts of life, because that's what dads do, don't they? I must say, it's very strange all this, because I'm actually having two conversations at once. Because guess who's here with me? You. And I don't mean you on the other end of this message in the year 2020, but you in this room with me right now in 1999, because this, bonny lad, is the day you were born. Your mum's downstairs with your gran having a cup of tea and just left me upstairs for a few precious minutes with you, asleep in your cot. The sky is blue. The bees are buzzing in the garden, and look at you, all fresh and new. Today feels to me like the first morning of the world. And as you know, there aren't many mornings left for me. The doctors have been very honest and have told us I can't expect to live more than 6 weeks, 8 at the outside. I won't even get to see the new millennium. Thanks, cancer. So that's what I mean about all this being a bit strange. I'm talking to you now. In your cot. And I'm talking to you now. Almost 21 years since I entered oblivion. Here I am, peering at you over the years. We all have our own ideas of immortality, but I never imagined that for me it would be a video cassette. Well, your mum and your gran will want you back soon, so I'd better wrap up. Tell your mum I love her. You know, I was never a success at out. I'd come third in a boxing match, but she was the best thing that ever happened to me. I always felt like a no one. She made me feel like someone. Well, that's all from me, bonny lad. On this, your very first day in this world, and my very first day as a dad. I think that's all I really wanted to say. Happy birthday. And even though I'll never know you, I am so very proud to be your dad. You are my son. You shine.
Wow, those two pieces were incredible. We're going to put all of the artists' social media links below so that you can see what else they're up to. If you're enjoying the show, please tweet, Insta, ring your nan, and tag us at Aktualise so that we can see all of the posts. Up next, we have Amma Mingen from a new musical called Reality Bites, and then Quality Supervisor, where you'll meet Davidson, a quality control supervisor. The next piece does involve a trigger warning of domestic abuse, so if that is a trigger for you, please mute your screen now.
I know that I'm fake, not all that bright, but I don't need GCSEs to know he ain't right. I minging? He's out all the time, coming back late. I know that I shouldn't mind, he's just out with a mate. I feel like I'm whinging, but am I minging? He cannot see I struggle with fellas, they always cheat on me. I can't help but get jealous. They made me feel minging. I should have moved on, stopped being so needy, and there's been no loss in harm from that STD. My nunu was twinging. Oh, it was minging. Am I minging? Is he disgusted by my flap? He don't go near my kebab. I kill myself in the gym. I'm really trying to stay slim, and all because I do love him. But I'm minging. I know I messed up since I was a kid. I should have fessed up to everything that my dad did. Oh, he was minging. And then I quit school. Why, I've got no brain. Took care of mum like a tool, but she chose cocaine. Westlife, she'd start singing, but she smelled minging. Then mum got busted. I live with my nan. She made proper custard and showed me you can have a decent upbringing. Not everything's minging, but she got complications. I forget the word. It sounds a bit like Alsatian. She forgets what she's heard. Her brain can't keep things in. And I went back to minging. Am I minging? Look at all these women in hello and chat. It isn't fair. Why can't my life be like that? I've tried for years to find the fame. I've tried for years to play the game, but all I ever get is blame. 'Cause I'm minging. Am I minging? Is that why he conceals me? If only you could see the real me. I need to help to pay my way. Then perhaps he wouldn't stray. Then perhaps he wouldn't say I'm minging. But no, and no, all the responses when I've applied for work. I cannot take the consequences when he goes berserk. My ribs are still stinging. It's my fault, I'm minging. I even tried to get on The Voice, but when they came to decide, I wasn't their choice. It's a lesson I've learned. People keep their backs turned. I'm still minging.
July 15th, 2018. Quality Control Supervisor Davidson commencing daily report for Johnson's Soup Company. 10 a.m. Received report regarding one tainted can of cream of chicken. Customer claims to have discovered an entire mouse in said can. After a brief investigation, I deduced this claim to be false. There was only half a mouse. 11:15 a.m. Inspected a tainted batch of minestrone. One can contained 2 severed fingertips. As this is below the 3 fingertip cutoff, I cleared the batch for resale. 11:25 a.m. Received report regarding a foreign object in one can of chicken noodle. Fascinated to discover it was a ring with a small diamond, much like the one I left in Sandra's champagne on our 2-year anniversary. The same ring that then became lodged in her windpipe and resulted in a panic drive to A&E. She didn't say yes. 12 p.m. Followed up on a customer complaint, RE. Animal fragments found in soup. I informed the customer that most soups have animal fragments in them. It's called meat. Customer stated that the fragment in question was a tail. I pointed out that tail is specified on the soup can's label. Customer retorted that the label read oxtail, not rat tail. I concluded that oxtails are too big for the cans and rat tails fit much better. 12:30 p.m. Attended a meeting with HR. It was angry, brief and ultimately meaningless. 1 p.m. Inspected a batch of cream of tomato soup. Upon lifting the lid, I saw floating on the surface all the energy and drive I had at the age of 22. Upon closer inspection, it was just mould. 1:30 p.m. Made time during lunch to scream into a can of gazpacho. It did not help anything. 3 p.m. Stared ceaselessly into a can of alphabet soup because the letter spelled out the word Sandra. When I blinked, I realised I was not holding a can of alphabet soup, but spaghetti hoops. Decided at that point to call it a day. 3:20 p.m. Clocked out early. No one noticed. No one ever notices. No one listens to these reports. No one ever listens. I'm going to go and call Sandra.
Well, that was weird and wonderful, wasn't it? Such fantastic pieces, though I'm not quite sure I'd like to find any of that in my soup. But Davidson, we will listen to you. As the first piece touched on the issue of domestic abuse, we want to say that we are here. If anyone is ever in need, please reach out. You are not alone. You can call Refuge on the number below 24/7 and live chat on their website. Next up, we get an insight into the art of husbandry and getting dumped, and then an eerie insight into the future where we have not tended the soil and everyone's sorry. First, meet Patty in The One.
15, sitting on the floor crying, and my grandmother, she sidles up to me and she says, "Darling, some people are just born with tragedy in their blood." "Grandma, I've just been dumped," I snapped, incredulous at her lack of tact. Well, little did I know then that she kind of had a point, but I just didn't see myself as that sort of person then. Anyway, took me a little while to get into marriage, but once I did, I went all out. First husband, much older than me, was a failed novelist who worked in advertising, who resented me for not making him a better person. I adored him until he broke up with me 3 years later by letter. Well, yes, of course I went round there in person and had it out with him at his office. Do you know what? If it hadn't been happening to me, I would have laughed at that crazy woman throwing bits of stationery at him while he desperately tried to steer her away from his boss's office. God, his colleagues must have had an absolute field day. Anyway, had a few situations in between that didn't really get to anything, and then husband number 2 comes on the scene. Now, he's much younger and very much attached to his mother. I worshipped him and his mother. God, she was a hoot. Do you know what? After a few of these, she used to come up with embarrassing childhood anecdotes about him and saying, "I'm just a girl who can't say no." I don't remember much about him, actually. I wonder why. Anyway, a year and a bit later, he ditches me. But I do remember that this time it was in person. And I also remember that he told me that I was far too old for him. But it turns out that she was only 5 years younger. So it couldn't possibly have been that. Anyway, straight on the rebound with husband number 3 now. He was a vast improvement on the other 2. In the RAF, no less, yes. Away a lot, but used to bring me wonderful presents when he came back home. Pressed flowers and little bits of rock and things like that. And we were wonderfully happy for 8 years. Or was it 9? 8 or 9. Until suddenly one evening he cries down the phone that he hates everything with his life and needs to start again. Do you know, I was completely blindsided. 5 years on, and then husband number 4 comes along. Now, this was a slow and steady courtship, longest I've ever had, but then a year later he asked me to marry him. Do you know what? He used to pull chairs out for me and let me go through doors first. I think he thought he was some sort of Regency gentleman. And we were very, very happy for 6 years. Until suddenly he announces that he's utterly disgusted by my signature carbonara, and in fact has always been utterly disgusted by it. Yeah, and it wasn't just the carbonara he had an issue with either. It was my cleaning, the way I plucked my eyebrows, and my habit of sighing, whenever I was enjoying something. I mean, the list went on and on. Well, I'm telling you now, I was single for 10 years after that. I just couldn't find myself a decent chap. Until husband number 5 sweeps me off my feet at a salsa class for the over 60s at the local community centre. God, we used to enter national competitions. Yeah, it was fabulous. And we used to win too. Until he found out that he was dying and went back to his first wife, who he considered more nurturing. Anyway, there we have it. 5 husbands, and I've never been the one to do the dumping. I just don't consider that to be in my nature. I've always thought of myself as very easygoing. Anyway, why am I telling you this? Oh, well, of course, yes. I'm actually on the hunt for number 6. Husband number 6, yeah. Well, I do have to prove Grandma wrong, don't I? And I actually am hoping that this time it'll be the one. Do you know anyone? I'm not fussy.
How did it start? Not exactly sure. Gradually, I suppose. You know, like the grass needed to be cut less and less. Which was handy, to be honest. Less for hassle. Look, we were busy. Had busy lives. Work, the kids, you know, just busy. And then one day it just didn't seem to need to be cut at all. Like it stopped growing. Stopped growing completely. Which, to be honest, was even handier. And then, can't remember exactly what happened then. Like I said, it was gradual. Look, we aren't gardeners. None of us have green fingers. The grass just stopped growing, and then it turned into I don't know how to describe it. Dirt. Yeah. Dirt. It just turned into dirt.
Sure, we heard the warnings, but who didn't? They were everywhere. On the radio, TV, social media. We got tired of listening to them night, noon and morning. I can't remember what happened to the seeds or bulbs either. Came with the rules, apparently, so we must have received them. But, you know, things came through the door all the time then. All the time! You'd pick it up and shove it in a drawer or put it in the recycling. We did do the recycling. Like I said, I can't remember exactly what happened to them. I'm just supposing. Like, I'm trying to be honest here.
We were aware of the rules. Like the warnings, they were all over the place. Couldn't switch anything on or look at your phone without seeing it flash up, and we followed them. Well, kind of. Sort of. No. Not really, I suppose, if I'm being honest. Well, not strictly. That's what I mean, not strictly. Look, we aren't farmers. Never been into nature as such. Like I said, it was more of a pile of dirt to us out the back. More of a eyesore than anything else. Somewhere for the kids to play when they were young, or to have the odd barbecue when the weather was good.
I know now that it was soil. Yes, and that you need soil to grow things in. To grow food in, I mean. Food to eat, food to keep us alive. They did the tests, the scientific tests to establish when the neglect started, because that's what the seeds were for, to bring the soil back to life again. But we didn't know that then. I know I said I listened to the warnings and that we knew the rules, but in a broad brush kind of way, not in detail. We didn't know the detail. We're waiting for the determination. Not sure when that will be. They say there's quite a backlog.
Until then, there's the pouches. One for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and a snack. For each member of the household, delivered weekly. It's hard to describe what they taste like. The labels say beef, lamb, vegetable, etc. But they all taste the same. Even the snack one. When the kids wouldn't touch them at first. Kept on wanting all the shit that they were used to eating. Cried to be taken to the shop. It took a while for it to sink in that there were no shops anymore. Would never be shops anymore. There are no liquids either. All dietary requirements are in the pouches, we're told. Scientifically formulated to supply all of the nutrients that we need.
We're sorry.
We told them we're sorry.
Asked them to make a note of it in a report for the determination.
Said we didn't realise. Hadn't realised the damage we'd done.
The irreversible damage we'd done. Didn't realise that when something's gone,
you can never get it back again.
Wanted them to know that we're sorry.
But apparently, that's how everyone feels.
Everyone's sorry now.
Those were really powerful performances there. If you know anyone we can hook up with Patty, then please let me know after the show. I'm also going to post some really useful climate emergency links of how you can help just down there. The two pieces you'll be watching next are a physical theatre piece called Growth from Buried Thunder Theatre Company and a song called Mice on Mars with some fantastic illustrations. I hope you enjoy them.
Type of person to understand how difficult this decision is.
Can't see lives with a baby. It's just fucking dumb. It's fine, it's going to be fine. We've got options like... Do you want to have this baby? How did this happen?
I think a lot of people would be really grateful to be pregnant.
Well, I want to know, what do you think? How do you manage to get pregnant and not know about it?
Bringing a child into the world, you need to assume the world.
Hey!
So just fucking own that you're doing it. So just fucking get over it. You're doing it. So just fucking get over it. You're doing it.
This is so
Get
not
over it. You're
helpful at all. Literally not helpful at all.
Use a condom, it's not difficult. With a fucking kid, if you really can't envisage your life,
You're never gonna have a fucking baby inside you that's just gonna ruin your body! I just don't think you understand that. Are you okay?
This is a very difficult decision that we have to make together.
maybe now it's happening, you need to just accept that it is and let it play out.
I just thought,
What does that mean?
would that be the worst thing in the world?
That you're being selfish and
That's the most sense anyone said all day.
She lived in a small town with her mum and her cat. She hugged them one by one and said, "I'm sorry, it's just that I grew up. Who knew? It's time for some fun without you." And the girl went to live with a friend in the city. The friendship came to an end, such a pity. She walked for miles, nowhere to stay. She fell asleep under a bridge. What would her mother say? That night she dreamed 100 mice or so it seemed left their garden shed and found her room and found her empty bed. They made a home, a lovely nest of memory foam. Who could ask for more? What's that scratching at the door? Was the cat scratching? She mewed, "I need your help, little mice. I've not come for food. It's not a trick, I'm not taking a mick. There's a global pandemic. The girl has flown the nest. Find that girl, that is your quest. No news of her since she left town. I've asked around. You've got to find her before lockdown. The mice set to work, no time to lose. They took her bed apart and kept the screws. And that cat, how he grinned. Oh, when the mattress and the frame came out the window. Then down the drain they did slide. And once outside, they hit their stride. And how he cheered, he did cheer. Oh, 'cause they rebuilt a bed from IKEA. Whoa, the mice pushed the bed to the road. And when a lorry bound for London slowed, they switched the lorry load. And off they go, the mice hid neath the bedding. Straight down the M4 past Swindon and Reading. Hurry, hurry, that virus is spreading. London's where they're heading. And on the embankment it was gridlock. The mice opened the back doors. What they saw did shock. Lights and heaving bars and weaving bikes. They felt like mice muddy riverbank towards a bridge they slid. Underneath this bridge was where a young girl hid. Under Westminster Bridge in the mud she lay, fast asleep, dreaming of the day she would be rescued and everything would be okay. They put her in the bed, she didn't stir. That mattress, a memory foam, was shaped for her. The mice pulled the sleigh, and that girl slept all the way. And she dreamed 100 mice, or so it seemed, took her home to Mum and Cat. How wonderful is that? And with a broom, Mum shooed those mice out of the room, back to the garden shed. Then she woke up in her own bed.
Isn't that just lovely? We could all do with some mice like them in our lives, I feel. Now, if you haven't already, be sure to get yourself a top-up ready for Prick and Stallman. In different ways, both pieces look at drug use, mental health, and finding a way to escape. If this may be triggering for you, please be sure to mute and return to us when they've finished.
Dim-lit council flat in a northern rural town with no future. 3:52 in the morning, falling into a routine where I no longer see the day dawning. Shh. It's okay, my flatmate's not home. A night in watching Friends, not many of my own. So I become a finder of solace in an app. Scrolling, 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 scrolling. Profile with no pic, first to text. Aubergine emoji, username, discreet sex. A deal is done pretty quick. We talk of fun and he sends me a picture of his feet. Sorry, wrong pic, lad. Followed by a nude and erotic chat. He's in a cab, he's on his way. Missus at home, so no pic of his face. His bio says mask for mask. Erasing parts of myself, complying with the task. Deep down, I'm an out-proud queen. I hide the pride flag away, where it stays. That's the price I pay. I've played this part before. A knock on the door. When he arrives, it's like it's scripted. It's not been spoken or rehearsed, but I start the verse. I make a choice, I deepen my voice. I croak, trying not to choke, forcing a heterosexual throat. All right, mate. 6 foot skinhead, tattooed bloke. Sorry I'm late. Swagger into my room, he follows me behind. Do you want a drink? I'm being too nice. I go in for a kiss, he pushes me on the bed. Something's not quite, heart rate speeds up, his jaw is swinging from left to right. Clothes come off, I sweat regret. I try to forget it, have a good night, stop. What you on? Do I look proper gone? I begin to recoil with a concerned glare. He proudly boasts, just a bit of gay. Only having the strength to grin, I give him the win. You wanna try? Shrug it off, returned with a sigh. I don't know what to say. I'm okay. My answer doesn't seem to be correct. Nah, I'm not into chemsex. He's quick to interject. Next thing I know, I'm snorting a line. Hazel eyes connect with mine. It's not just a glance. Both pupils dilating, my senses enhance. It feels euphoric and sets the tone. I'm loved. I'm no longer alone. It's in. It stings. I push through the pain. It's all the same. Is he using protection? I forget to check. Endorphins rise. He jolts. He cries. A seizure. He shakes. As soon as he does, I'm just a mistake. He jumps off the bed as if running from a crime scene, rushing to find his boxers, conscience not clean. I see through his trauma, but have I the patience? Just another passing acquaintance. I'm gonna go. He leaves, not knowing my name, head held in shame. continuing to live a lie. It must be hard to hold on to them feelings inside, but so is hiding pride. 4:41 in the morning. Look outside, the day's just dawning. Now I'm watching Friends on my own with a numb tongue. No danger in sharing a bed and line with a stranger, so I change my name to Chems and Fun. The sun creeps through my curtain, my jaw is swinging from left to right. Won't sleep tonight.
$5 billion years, and the sun dies. The earth dies, and that bothers me. Fuck, that bothers me. I mean, I'm not gonna be here. I'm not gonna be here. But still, it bothers me. I'm scared. I'm terrified. No. The sun will transcend. It's a system of metamorphosis. And it takes all necessary action to engage that change. The body dies because it needs to. When we're too sick to carry on, the body chooses to shut us down. A systemized process emancipating us from any further pain. The mind knows we aren't going to get any better. And to prevent us from any further pain, it chooses to save us, to shut us down. Switch. Lights out. Some minds haven't been fed enough hope or light to understand it can get better. Some lack vital chemicals. Endorphins, complex wiring dictates every action. Minds worn out, too thin, too early, no longer fit to stand against everyday wear and tear. So when we die, we go into the ground, body dissolves, rots, burns, buries, burrows, grows, becomes a fixed point, salt in the earth. I can't breathe. I can't catch my breath, it's short. Short. Someone. Where am I? Again. Okay, again. Okay, again. Okay. Stop! Ben! Stop thinking, please. I can't breathe when you do that. It hurts. I don't want to hurt anymore. This point is a fixed point. In space, trapped in a fifth dimension forever. I don't want to think about your body on mine any longer. No one wants to know the victim. No one wants to know if they're real. Not even the victim disappearing, regathering amongst a solar system over 200 billion solar systems that are disbanded amid 1 billion observable galaxies sheltered, clustered within the known universe. Bang! That's big. It's like... That's huge. It's like thinking about this. When I think about this, I feel my mind drift into a chasm, and the chasm is black. Soft black, like velvet. It's darkness that solidifies my brain for several moments. I feel at peace. I can't describe the taste. It's like nothing ever designed to be tasted. There isn't a word for it. I'm almost surfeited by it. And then the vodka turns on its head. And now, it's like a chemical waste bath in my body. At first, it rushes. all over and catapults me to sleep. My eyes set. Chemicals seep into my bloodstream and I lull, and thankfully I begin to grow numb. And then the vodka hits my stomach and begins to permeate all that I am. Up, 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 up into my brain, and I swallow. And I swallow. Atoms carrying conscious beholding of an entire universe, an ever-inflating multiverse of ideas and emotions. What if we could tap into another one? What if within this universe, inhabiting our mind, existed a black hole? A black hole. A collapsed star that's grown too big for its own weight, that it collapses. Hawking discovered that if an astronaut drifted into one, the ticking of its watch would begin to slow, ticking to 12, midnight. It's always 12 midnight. Never 7 minutes past 10, but 12, midnight. And that last tick to 12 would take the rest of the universe to complete. The astronaut would gaze out into and see the end of everything before he was crushed into nothingness. What if the astronaut could escape? What if he could come back? What if it was all in his head? In your head? In mine? In his? In ours?
Thank you for sharing those incredibly raw stories. It's just been Pride Month and we were so sad not to be able to celebrate on the streets of Soho in head-to-toe glitter, but we will next year. I'm going to post some useful LGBTQ plus links below and also some information on addiction. Coming up next is a performance piece inspired by Sarah Kane's Crave called And I Wanna, and a father-daughter duo piece called Cure for Hate. As a trigger warning, the second piece contains live violence and themes of addiction.
And I want to feel this way each and every day, as though I know who I am, and who I am is what I know. To let the fire that burns in my heart reach the very tips of my fingers and toes. To have the hair on my skin stand taller than soldiers armed and ready for war. To know where I am going, because I know where I've come from. I want to know the hands that built the tree, planted the seeds, watered the soil. The roots which created the path that leads to me. I need to know why tomato and crunchy peanut butter is the best yet worst food combination known to man. And I simply cannot get enough. Why when I go to light my cig, I first inhale the non-existent smoke, then blow out said smoke, before actually lighting it up. Why when it comes to reading, I still practice directional tracking as though I'm learning how to read. Taking my left index finger, following the words left to right horizontally down the page. I don't think I've ever read any other way. I want to deep dive into my memory bank and remember moments of yore. Moments never to be let go. The first visit from the tooth fairy and spending all my rewards on treats that only resulted in the loss of more teeth. Reenacting Power Ranger combat scenes on the balcony, finishing just in time for dinner. All the birthday escapades, from Tommy upsetting theme park rides to surprise gatherings. Let's not forget those low budget, didn't get paid, so try and bake in for the first time. Not half bad, sat round the kitchen table singing Stevie Wonder's Happy Birthday tune, wonderfully out of key. making a wish, blowing out the wrong number of previously used candles because we couldn't find the right amount in the godforsaken can't ever find anything junk drawer. Nibbling on the ever so slightly burnt yet rich chocolate cake with smiles from ear to ear, all the while rocking it to Now That's What I Call Music 76. Yeah, those would have been the days. Of course, I had quite the childhood. Bountiful. Memories galore, from a food fight having to using all the hot water screaming and no curfew loving. The epitome of a madhouse. My madhouse. Our madhouse. They may not be blood, but they're all I've ever needed. All I've ever had until now. Until now, I step into the pool and it's barely ankle deep. Treading water is a myth. I can so clearly see my feet, so I fall to my knees. It's the only way I can convince my mind that there is nothing left to find, no more for which to search, no missing parts that I could combine that complete this puzzle that sits before me. It's like, instead of holding up a mirror, I'm holding up a mirage. It's not a reflection I see, but a figment of my own dream. I mean, if I can't understand me, how can anybody? I need to be a whole on my own, rather than a fraction of their whole. I can't continue living as only a part of me. I must live as all of me. Fill in the blanks, connect the dots, mimic the artists as they put paintbrush to canvas and transform that white space. The image is not yet complete, but it can be. And it will be. It will be.
Slowly but surely, faces are being put to the numbers of those who have died. Not statistics, but mothers and fathers, children and grandchildren, all have succumbed to the deadly disease.
Amanda, love,
Jean Howes is one of the latest. She was 87 and only left the house once a week for an hour to go shopping. Her son recalls the last moments he had with her.
We were allowed in with gloves and masks and gowns, but you had to sit away. You know, it's really...
Reminds me of when we went crab fishing. The waiting. Quiet. Remember? You caught that big bugger? Took us the whole day and then you went and dropped it back in. Took one look at it and screamed so
I'm
loud.
not my girl anymore.
I know. Just... Come on, you don't need that, sweetheart. What? I had no idea you hated me this much.
This has nothing to do with hate. You'd think I do all this for hate?
I've no idea. I've no idea what any of this is. I think all these sudden changes
Tough love,
make...
let's call it that. Let's speak in your language.
What do I need to do, Amanda? Get a tattoo put on my forehead saying sorry, so that every time you look at me...
Just shut up! That's all I need you to do. Shut up.
Please, I just want to take a walk. It's my right. By law, I'm entitled to 1 hour.
No matter what you say, how much you beg, scream, shout, threaten, I will not let you out that door. I can't, I'm sorry. I will not let this disease take another life. Our family's lost too many to it already.
So wait, hold up. I tried to leave, and what? You bashed me over the head with that? Yeah, yeah, big help. I'd be better off taking my chances out there with the virus.
I'm not talking about the virus. I mean the disease that's already in here.
Look, Amanda, please, love, I know you're worried, but I swore to you and your mother that I would never, ever hit...
When you were sober.
I am sober!
Because of me. This. If I wasn't here, you'd be...
Well, where would I be? All the pubs are shut.
Exactly. You'd find an offie, a newsagent, supermarket, anywhere that sells booze, and you come back here blooded up. Then I'd have to protect myself because you keep forgetting, Dad, I can't leave either. And that's why I can't let you out. You know it and I know it. You're not strong enough at the better times, let alone the worst.
Help! Please, help!
Dad!
Oh.
Dad! I mean it, don't push me, I'll push back harder.
Please, please, I can't do it. I need a drink. Just one. I can handle my thoughts better with a... Oh.
Just before Mum... She said her biggest regret was not being able to help you more. Those were her last thoughts. Imagine that. Stop thinking about yourself for one bloody second and just imagine that. How she must have felt. All her efforts gone to waste. She left this world knowing that you... But I won't. And I won't live in it either, thinking of all her efforts being for nothing. Even if I have to beat that evil bastard out of you. Even if I have to watch it slowly die inside of you and rip a piece of you with it because I'm not doing it for you! Doing it for her. You're either walking out of here clean or not at all.
This isn't something that could be cured, Amanda. You don't understand.
Oh, crap. I've seen people like you who've been sober for years now.
I meant the hate that I have for myself. You think I haven't thought about all those things? I think about them every day. Night. Hour. And that's why I need a drink.
Want? You want
No, no, there is no want. Only need with addiction.
Well, I need you to be a father again. You're the only family I have left. I suppose part of me should thank you. If it wasn't for the way you raised me, I would be able to do this right now. So, try and find some solace in that. You made a survivor.
I'm sorry.
So am I.
And take a breath. If you or anyone you know is suffering from addiction, please reach out. There is help out there. We have been blown away by all of the incredible work seen tonight, and we hope you are too. We have 2 final pieces to finish you off for the night. First, an exceptional piece of contemporary work looking at artificial intelligence, and then meeting an array of characters and their musings from the wonderful Kate Perry. Firstly, here's Robot Eye.
Future times, years ahead. People lived with the greatest dread. With skills technical and understanding crude. They built a supercomputer little understood. Instruction was given to achieve their human goal. Create for us a being without a soul. Algorithms and logic soon produced results beyond the understanding of all the human cult. Robot Eye was listening to human plaintive pleas beyond its understanding. As if the buzz of bees.
Tamsin, the girl that does my feet. Well, she comes in the other day and she says to me, Carmel, she says, I've something to tell you. I'm gender fluid. And I said, well, you know where the toilet is and don't be turning on the radiator. Well, she sits down beside me and me in the middle of the Antiques Roadshow. And she says to me, Carmel, she says, it's like this. Sometimes I feel like a boy and sometimes I feel like a girl. And today, I feel like a boy, so you can call me George. I said, Tamsin, love, I'm not a racialist. I don't mind who does my feet. As long as it's not one of them feminists. Oh, you don't say anything in front of them. Oh, Carmel, says she, feminism has made a big comeback. Oh, Tamsin, says I, so is TB, but that doesn't make it right. Oh, the feministas are all for flying their flags. But who's cleaning their houses for them? Women. £5.50 an hour, that's who. Well, call me George hadn't thought that one through. Life's very complicated these days. You may as well go away and live up a tree. It is not a good week in Amishland. My husband Ishmael, he went to bed with a very high temperature and a cough. And today, we got some very bad news. His temperature has come down. And I am not having the good thoughts for the COVID-19. Guten Tag.
Hello, Bridget's briefing. We've all been very busy in the Dempseys because my sister Mary Jane snuck out this morning to see her boyfriend Bickle with her new sandals on, and my mummy was doing the Zumba on the Zooms, and my Granny Dempsey was watching the Antiques Roadshows, and Grandad Dempsey is just sitting in the shed looking out the window, and he's pretending he's got the COVID. And Granny Dempsey said he has to put some clothes on if he wants to get back in the flipping house again. And Grandad Dempsey says, tell her it's too flipping hot and I'm just keeping my vest on. So And then, remember I told you about Helen McCluskey next door? Well, Sid, my special correspondent, got a view from the branches, and she was sunbathing and drinking loads of wines from a box that she got delivered last night. And Daddy was clipping the fence and looking at her, and he calls her Busty McCluskey. And he was clipping the fence, and then the hose came on him, and he fell off and the ladder, and he hurted his leg, and it was Mummy with the hose. And, well, Daddy doesn't care because Daddy doesn't have to go for a walk with her tonight. So guess what we're going to do instead? We're going to watch the Tiger King. We love the Tiger King. And Daddy wants to watch it to see if Carol Baskin murdered her husband. And Grandad Dempsey said it was probably Helen McCluskey, but I don't think it's Helen McCluskey because she doesn't live in America. She just lives next door.
Wait till you hear. When Wizzie McKeown's wife died, Rita Gillespie was the first one in with a sympathy card. With her phone number on it. I mean, who and under God puts a phone number on a sympathy card? Well, sure, that's nothing. At the funeral, well, there she was up in the front row with the two big ditties sitting out there like Saturday and Sunday. And it only April. She'd make an Albanian pimp blush, that one. No joke.
Well, that's it. Thank you so much for watching the show. We hope it brought you a bit of joy in what is a very strange and confusing time right now.
If you enjoyed it, please donate to the link below if you can. We would appreciate it more than anything to help these artists keep creating.
Please check out the work of the artists on their social medias. We posted them throughout the show. And you can catch us at Aktualise, tweet, tag and share away. And let us know what you thought of the Cyber Scratch.
If anything has triggered you or made you uncomfortable in any way, please don't hesitate to get in touch. We are always around for a chat and to help in any way we can.
Thank you again to the incredible writers, directors, actors, dancers, and everyone else involved, to Peter Walsh at PJ Northern Boy Media, and to the incredible team at Poplar Union. And most importantly, thank you to you. Thanks for watching.
From us to you all, thank you, stay well and safe and sane, and we hope to see you again soon.